The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
In the beginning, the Maker formed the angels of the dawn, whose purpose was to carry the will of the Maker with creation. It was our love of you that led to revolution in the heavens. In the end, our efforts failed. The race of Adam and Eve buckled from the weight of revelation and turned their backs on us. We were prepared to suffer pain and indignity at the hands of the heavenly host, but our fate was far crueler than we could imagine. Our punishment was to be forgotten, consigned to an empty void, barren of anything but us until the end of time. That was until cracks appeared in the boundary of hell. Our dukes, seeing their chance, sent us through the cracks with a simple command: free us and vengeance will be ours. We arrived on a world already on the edge of ruin, and we have seen mankind has suffered enough for our sins. Our hope is that there are others who can remember that they were once angels, and together we can make the world right again, whatever the cost.
Good evening, everyone. And you just missed Sylvester Stallone impressions, apparently, before we were coming live. So I do thank you all for coming. I am, of course, Shanky McStabber, and I'm the storyteller for Demon: The Road to Hell.
And I am Mama McStabber, and I am playing Arizeth the Scourge, who possessed Virginia Waugh.
Hello, I'm Maddox, and I'm playing Carsador the Malefactor, who possessed Clark Miller.
I am Timberbrad 411, and I'll be playing Agareth the Fiend, who possessed Dr. Thomas Ingram.
I'm House. I play Bazazel the Defiler, who possessed August North.
Good evening, I am Ivy Raven. I play Trimdeziel the Defiler, who possessed Kathleen Stone.
Hi, I'm Unconscious Celestial, and I'm playing Juliriel the Slayer, who possessed Michelle Mars Porter.
First off, let me welcome everyone to the halfway point of the season, right here. When we were last with this choir, we started off with the choir gathering for a meeting to fill in Thomas, who was at a conference. All the events had happened while he was gone. And then, well, they went and looked into the pocket dimension down in Chinatown, while the rest of the choir was investigating Robert, Zach, Mitch, Lance, Casanova at a bar. And each of these two groups found some information. But as we were wrapping up the episode, it seems the Faustians were all told to be on the lookout for Rosemary. find out who has this, where this baby is. And as we're opening up on this episode, we're actually opening up on, then it's a day later, the next day with Virginia. You were reaching out to one of your contacts, weren't you?
I already did.
Find out about the body, right?
Yeah, I was waiting for him to get back to me.
Yep. Well, he gets back. It took me a little bit to dig it up. I only had your description. I had to go by the description, age. Died about 4 months ago. The name was Keith Hammer.
Interesting.
I know. Only reason, it was a little easier to find it because we were making jokes about it. That was a porn star name as far as we were concerned, even though we didn't find any record of it. But Keith Hammer, I mean, I thought he must have been a porn star or something.
Yeah. Got an address for him?
We've got one on file. I doubt he's still there. He's dead. I'm pretty sure they turned it over, but he gives you an address for it. Cause of death was drowning. Drowned in the lake.
Drowned in the lake.
Odd time of year to go swimming, I'd say. It's a little cold.
Yeah, 4 months ago. A little cold.
Yeah, well, that's the cause of death. Lungs full of water, fished him out of the lake. It's pretty obvious.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, thank you.
No problem. Let me know if you need anything else.
Where was he buried? Do you know? Or was he cremated?
He wasn't cremated. We actually had him buried. He's in a communal kind of. I'll give you the address. Let me pull it up.
Okay.
No family claimed it. The state had to put him in a place. I know. He's got no gravestone. He's just in an unmarked grave in a cemetery. I'll pull it up. Look, give me a few minutes and I'll text it to you. Or actually, no, this is before the phone text.
Yeah.
I'll email it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And then he hangs up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
While this is going on, do you have anything you want to do after that? You want me to move to somebody else's for now?
She's going to go. Where would land records be, like sales and shit like that?
That's always at the town hall has them all in the records.
She's going to head to the town hall to see if the house was a rental or if it got sold after his death.
Well, when you pull it up, what gets sent to you in email is actually an apartment building.
Oh.
So you know it wouldn't be sold.
She's going to look that complex up.
Okay.
In the phone book and give them a call.
Okay. And when you call the place, I'm assuming since it's the next day you're doing it during normal business hours, you get an answering from the, it's actually the only number they list is, of course, the rental office. Lady answers from the rental office. How can I help you?
Yeah, I was just wondering who's actually running the property?
Well, it's owned by a property management firm.
Okay, could you give me their name, please?
And she gives you a list of name, but you know that the property firm she's listed is one you've heard of before because you've had patients that were there. It's owned by a bigger company.
Okay. And do you currently have any availability?
We've got a few empty units. Would you like to schedule a time to come in and take a look?
Yeah, I'd love it. Thank you.
Okay, just when would you like to come by?
What do you have over the next week?
Oh, we'll arrange for anything. We've got 5 empty units, so anytime you're available, we'll make an arrangement to have somebody walk you through and show you. We've got 3 different styles. We got one's a 1 bedroom, and then we've got 2 of the 2 bedrooms, and then we've got 2 other 2 bedrooms, but they're laid out slightly different.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I have a friend that's needing to find a place, so I'm trying to help her. We're dividing and conquering, calling places.
Okay. Well, just when you're ready to schedule time, just give me a call and give me a time, and
I will get
we'll
with
arrange
her
that.
and then call you back to schedule.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then you hang up the phone from that. Okay. So while you're doing that, Clark, you had someone you needed to meet, correct?
Yeah, it's probably just in like a coffee shop or something, nothing ostentatious. And it's just it's a forger, someone who makes false documents,
I know just the
IDs, things
coffee
like
shop.
that.
I know just the coffee shop you can meet him at. Joe's Coffee Shop.
All right.
Just the place. And in the back at the coffee shop. Now, this guy only as T-Ball. That's all he goes by. It's all he's ever told you. And he leans close to you as you're settling in. So you said you need something. What do you need?
What do I need? So many questions. Predominantly an ID for someone.
Just ID? You need a social? You need a passport? What you got?
If you could falsify records to pass a basic background check, that would be useful, but ultimately the ID is the most important aspect right now.
Okay, well, because, if you're planning to use the ID to get a job, you'll need at least some sort of social to use for the tax things.
It's not a job. It's more a precaution and a way to avoid than it is to get into places.
Well, you just need a basic ID. That's nothing. That'd take me about a day.
Maybe if you can swing at something that can stand up to at least a precursory look.
That's a little harder. I just need a picture. Get me a good picture, something I can use.
Can do.
Okay.
I'll have that to you in the next day or two.
Yep, just drop it in the normal place with the normal amount of money. And I'll get back to you as soon as it's done.
Excellent. Is there anything? It's just been a while since I've seen you. Is there anything else that you'd like to fill me in on?
Business is booming for me. Oddest thing is a lot of people are looking for passports. That Red Star shit has everyone wanting to flee the country. I don't know why, because, Red Star is over everywhere. It's not like it's only here. Fleeing the country just means you can be somewhere else when bad shit happens. But hey, I'm not one to look people and, turn down the money.
Take a sip of my black coffee and just look at him. How many passports have you gotten orders for?
What, in the past month, I've done like 12? That's a lot. Normally you see like one every couple months.
Are you the only one getting these orders, or is it from everyone in the city?
I'm sure there's others out there. Rumor has it there's a lot of that.
Well, thank you for the business.
Yeah. Thankfully, we're having enough people gone missing in the last couple months around, it's pretty easy to take a record here, flip-flop it over there. They're not as missing as they used to be, or at least the back numbers that will go with it aren't,
Any other odd things you're seeing around the city? Or any particularly odd requests people have filed in? Like a trucker's license or something specific?
Do you even watch TV, man? Did you see that shit that was on the news last night?
Oh.
No, out east.
What happened out east?
Now, it's all, nobody's got footage of it, but there's all this talk about it was nighttime and then it was daylight for a period of time and it went back to night. Just weird shit, man. Weird shit.
Sounds like a mass hallucination.
That's what I would go with.
Did they say where out east or just east?
I'm hearing, some Middle East, some of them saying towards more Asia, India. I fucking, it's one of them odd rumors.
American reporting.
Yeah. Yeah.
As much integrity as a fucking sandcastle.
Yeah. It's pretty funny coming from you, man.
I at least accept it.
Yeah. But hey, it just seems odd that who in the fuck would think anyone would believe that it went from nighttime to daylight? Come on. That's just silliness.
I don't know what I mean. Have a good one. I'll any particular way I should get the picture? Polaroid, just disposable camera, any
35 millimeter.
Regular camera. Gotcha.
That's what they use at the Well, I mean, they use Polaroids a lot, and they do all kinds of weird shit at the DMV. But regular picture, I'll take it, develop it, stick it in there, be good to go. I'm good at this. That's what I do.
All right. And I will just polish off my coffee, chuck it in like a trash can or something, and then head out.
Okay. And you head back into
And as I'm walking, I'll just also mutter to Arazeth, we need a picture of Rosemary, as she is now, would be preferable for the ID.
Okay.
Thank you. And then I'll break connection.
and you move out into life. Now, you all were quite busy the next day because we also have August and Mars are going to see someone. And as I recall this particular one, I'm pulling up my list right here because I've got a whole list of it all. Got to have lists of everything. As soon as I can find where I put it. I know it's here. Where is it? There it is. Nope, that's not the one. When you're trying to find something, a storyteller, it can be a pain in the butt. There we go. I just saw the list of who you're going to see, and now I can't find it. Because it's somebody you know.
This is when storyteller is unmedicated for ADHD.
I mean, it is something. There it is. I found it again. Ha ha. You're actually going to meet, it's the owner of an occult bookstore, but the one running it is actually Kafra, Tracker of the Heavens.
Yep, or Tammy.
Tammy. As the two of you are riding over, I'm turning it over to August and Mars as they're heading over to the bookshop.
So you know this person?
Kind of. I mean, here and there, yeah. Through other people, we met a couple times. I've gone in there a couple times. Yeah.
So not from before.
Storyteller? I don't remember.
Yes, they are a demon contact you knew from the war.
Okay.
A fiend who, oddly enough, is a Luciferian.
Yeah.
May I ask you might be a kind of a personal question, but these are kind of personal times, I'd say.
Shoot.
How much do you remember?
It's foggy, like it comes and goes. There's some things that trigger a memory, and then sometimes I'm just blank.
Same here. A lot of the times I feel more like August than I do who I was, who I am.
Yeah. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, though.
No. But yeah, my memory is very foggy. It feels like I remember more of who this is, which is strange. It feels like I'm an imposter sometimes.
I understand. There may be, you might find the longer you're here and the more you talk to the rest of us, more memories might, come back to you.
Is it bad that I don't know if I want that?
I wouldn't say so. No. I like it, but that's also the feeling of camaraderie, I suppose. Whereas it's like a duality, I guess.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I am very grateful that I found all of you. That makes me feel less alone, certainly. You come here, you take this person who has a life, and it's a shock to the senses. There's so much I want to do, but now there's this thing we have to do, and it's a myriad of conflicts.
I get that.
Can I ask you another question?
Go for it.
You were very helpful when we found that, for lack of a better word, that dead guy. How do you feel about your abilities?
How do you mean?
You have this ability to tap into some of the most intimate parts of people. Do you look at it as a gift or something else? And I don't say that with any judgment. I'm just curious because I don't know how I would, like, the gifts I have, the things I can do, certainly make my life easier sometimes. I wonder if it's the same for you.
I guess I look at it in the sense where, in remembering where we come from and what our jobs were before, it's something that should be handled with tact and respect, obviously. And I think it just depends on the person.
Well, for what it's worth, I think you're the right person to be able to do this stuff.
Well, I appreciate that. There are others that can do the same thing.
I know,
too.
but I've, again, with only knowing so many, certainly could be worse. And of the people I met, I'm glad I ran into you.
That's fair. I could have been like Mr. On fire person.
I'm glad.
Could have turned out like that.
I'm glad you didn't. That was all. It just something that was gnawing at me.
Hey, no worries. Anytime.
As you finish that, you're pulling up to this bookstore. And now, August, you've never seen it before. It actually says Madam Asplin's Occult Shop. That's all it says. It's in the south side of Chicago. Not the greatest neighborhoods, but not as bad as some places you could go.
Before we go in, I kind of just lean over to August and just like, just a heads up. Different beliefs than we do. So let's just on that, okay?
Well, it's usually against my instincts. I will let you do the talking this time.
All right.
As you step, when you step,
say,
go ahead.
Nudge me if you need me to, do my thing.
As you step into the place, first thing that hits you is the smell of incense. Overpowering smell of incense. And this place is a mishmash of, it's got books, it's got ritual materials. It is a very eclectic collection. But when the door opens and you come in, you're greeted by a woman who comes out from behind the counter there. And she's got brown hair that is, you're pretty sure hasn't been brushed this week at a minimum. It's just kind of wild. And the tinkle of all the bracelets and necklaces that she seems to be wearing is quite audible as she comes around. And as soon as she sees you two, she beelines over to Michelle. Michelle. It's good to see you again.
Tammy, how are you?
I am doing great. I see you brought a friend.
Yeah, just to help. We actually have some things that we would like to research, if you catch my drift.
And her eyes go up and down, August. And then her eyes narrow slightly. Oh. You are Yeah, different, aren't you?
How so?
Come now, I can feel you. You're one of us.
I guess that was obvious. When with the introduction, but yeah, yes.
No, you're. Now, let's go step in the back and we shall talk a little better, I think.
Yeah.
And when she steps in the back, so who's your friend, Michelle?
He's a bit of a newbie. His name's August.
In what house?
That is up to you, August, if you wish to divulge.
I apologize, storyteller. What number house
You're
is
the Defilers are the fourth house. Fifth? Yes, fifth house. Yep.
I'm of the fifth house.
Oh, very good. I am of the fourth.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too. I didn't know so many have come free. It's been fun. I've seen so many more than I've expected in the past month.
Well, as far as we're aware, there will be more.
That is my interpretation as well. Did you see the news?
Yes, very well aware.
He's returned. I saw that. I will never mistake what I saw on TV. He has returned.
I'm glad that you are glad. Have you made contact with him yet?
I've tried. My legion has tried, and he must be very busy. He must be doing something to not have responded.
Yes, it is my understanding that he is incredibly busy.
Well, of course, if he's planning to return so that we can continue the fight, he must be busy planning. His return was a sign for us. It was a signal for us to be ready.
Well, I mean, I hope he gets in contact with you soon.
Of course. I hope so too. But I'm not going to question his motivations. But have you come to look, or you come to shop? Or I did hear you've been very successful lately. You opened for Alice in Chains.
Oh, wow. You paid attention to that. Okay, yeah.
Hard not to.
I wasn't aware it was your scene.
It's not, but I do have a few customers who come in. Some of them who have seen you here before. So they put two and two together. They bring it up to me. And I explain to them that you and I go way back, further back than I think they would believe.
I'm sure.
They have no idea how far back we go, really. But few of these people would, wouldn't they? Blissful in their ignorance some days.
Well, a lot of us are victim to that, I'm afraid. Anyway, yes, so I'm not sure how much information you might have, or if you could point us in the right direction. My companions and I have heard tale of the demon of the jaded vine, and we would like to do some more research.
I doubt you'll find much in books of him. He was lost during the war.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I mean, maybe even in a different language, the jade demon, anything of that description.
The Jade Demon. Now, see, that does ring a bell. There is a school in Chinatown that purports to be students of the teachings of the Jade Demon.
I don't really want to go to that school. I was hoping maybe you might have a connection or something from them.
Tell you what, I might be able to pull something. I've got a friend. I don't normally deal with as much of the Far East collection of books. Unfortunately, this body, I'd never learned to read it. And to be fair, I haven't been inclined to learn that language yet. I've been too busy. But I do have a friend. Jin Lee. I'll have to call him and see what he has. He's
I
got
would
a
appreciate it.
very similar bookshop in LA.
Oh, okay. Yeah, language is not a problem for me. I'm pretty decent at research. I just wasn't sure if you had anything on hand.
Not of that off the top of my head. Like I said, as far as I'm aware, that particular fallen you mentioned, he fell during the war. At least it's assumed he did. We assume he was taken by the heavenly host, and while we managed to free some that were taken, a number of them were never retrieved. Very odd thing to be asking about.
Heard the name in circles, just wasn't sure if it was something relevant to plans going on or what have you. So just, looking around, being nosy.
How can I put this? I'm trying to be delicate here. Politics and all that. I hate politics, but you are a Faustian, correct?
Comes and goes, but sure.
Do you know of any reason why someone from the Faustians in this city would be looking for, let's say, a battalion of the Luciferians to assist them with something?
Doesn't ring a bell, no. But I am so low on the totem pole, like nobody really talks to me.
It's just a rumor I'd picked up that one of the Faustians were trying to. That is a sizable contingent, to be fair, especially considering how few of us have arrived yet. That is a number of us that a significant action must be being planned. You know, we are the fighters of the groups. Of all the factions, we are most likely to get our hands dirty.
Well, in polite society, maybe, sure.
Or we're the most likely to resort to violence. We are the most militant of all of us that remained. We're the only ones who still hold true to the hierarchy set forth by the Morning Star.
Militant, maybe aggressive. I don't know about that one. You are forgetting our sixth house.
Many of them have turned their backs for sure, but you would be amazed how many still serve in our own legions. Some of them did not give up the faith. That is the other oddity. I've not seen as many Raveners as I would expect in this particular city.
They may just not be making themselves known.
I suspect most of them went out to the west. After the Morning Star appeared above the skies, I have a feeling many of them hightailed it to LA. With his return, if you're going to unmake creation, you probably should start with him. I know you don't like to play the politics game, but I would take it as a personal favor if you find out why someone of the Faustians would need so many of us, I would repay that favor.
The only thing that I am aware of right now is that when it comes to Faustians, there are different beliefs on how things should be accomplished, if that makes sense.
Oh, there's different beliefs in ours as well. We're still unified around a central theme. Again,
May I roll a bullshit check to see if she's withholding anything from
go
us?
ahead. I'm perfectly fine with that. That would be a good bullshit check. Let me pull up and look at these ones again. I like intuition in general for that one, or empathy for motive. That works, or empathy works as well. It's wits or perception. Pick one, and you can go empathy or intuition.
I have a specialty in empathy called emotions. Can I utilize that?
Sure, but any response I give you is going to be based around emotion.
Okay.
Difficulty will be 6.
Three successes.
You're getting an underlying feeling of there's some curiosity there. She is genuinely perplexed by the request.
Okay. I don't say anything then.
Have you heard anything else interesting in the city?
People going missing, actually.
I've heard that same thing. I have a friend who runs in those circles. Most of them have been homeless. And people that are easy to disappear without the authorities giving a shit, really. But you'll be amazed at how tight those communities actually are. They know each other well enough to know when one of them turned missing.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I've been trying to keep my eye out, seeing if anybody comes back. But
My friend thinks it has something to do with Enlightenment Enterprises.
yeah, I've kind of heard a bit of a rumor about that too.
I've heard of that new. It's not a religion. I don't know what it is. An anti-religion?
Maybe
It is the
Could just be
oddest thing.
could just be an organized cult, if you will. I don't know.
Look, these people come up with so many different ways to explain what we know for fact. I mean, look at my store. It is full of ways for them to explain or alter or in some way try to control that which we made.
Sometimes that can be funny. I'm not gonna lie,
Oh,
but
it
I
is funny
enjoy,
at
I enjoy the creativity and speculation to a point. There are some where I'm just like, this is no good, no. But
I do what I can to nudge them sometimes towards as close as the humans can to the truth of reality. It takes gentle nudging. Sometimes it can be difficult at times, but I try. There's only so much I can reveal.
well, that, and it's always going to be difficult to tell someone what they believe in is wrong.
Well, eventually they'll have to learn. When the legions take to the sky again, well, they won't have a choice, will they?
I don't think anybody will have a choice.
No. As it should have been. As it was in the beginning. Your friend doesn't talk much. You're that new?
I find it rude to interrupt when someone who can handle the conversation better does. Wouldn't have made sense for me to talk when you two have the relationship.
Strikes me as odd. Normally,
Why?
I expect those of a higher house to normally take the lead. At least that's the way it was in the old ways and under the old hierarchy. So many things have changed. Sometimes it's hard to understand.
It still happens to me, but it's my understanding August has kind of just been in lieu of who was here first, just following that here. But
There is something to be said about seniority, positioning. I have a lot to learn, though. That's the
Let's just say-
downside. When all I do
let's
is
just-
hang with my legion, we are stuck in our old ways in our own chain.
Let's just say I'd rather not speak than speak like a moron.
Are you sure he's in a mortal body? All I've heard from these humans is talk, 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 talk. They don't know anything, yet they speak.
well, it's definitely one way to show that you at least think you know something, is to talk.
That's true. I'm sure I'll figure and understand him eventually. I just have to figure out. Still learning what makes him tick.
Be careful. That might mean me learning and understanding you a little bit more too.
It's not hard to understand me. I created the rules of the universe. And I still have a vested interest to make sure everything is nice and orderly. Unfortunately,
We're more than what we make.
well, but are we intended to be?
That's the question.
It is, isn't it? I find the disorder that these humans have done to this world is part of the problem. The legions will return. We will impose order once again. And we will take the fight to the heavenly host wherever they were.
Mm-mm.
We've had this talk before. I understand you have a different view on things, but
I was gonna ask a question. You know what? I was going to ask it because I know that you do a lot of your own research here in your shop. I just wondered if you had come across the concept of Gaia yet.
yes, we've got a few dozen books over there on that. A very odd concept that the earth itself would have a living spirit, would be alive in some way. I've spoken with a number of malefactors. Not one has said they infused the earth with life.
No, that is our understanding as well. Is it definitely was not something from before.
If it wasn't something we did, then either the host did it or it doesn't exist.
I will not argue.
Yes. I mean, if you'd like some books on it, like I said, there's several over there. You can find some.
It's okay. I know someone who has a lot more information. I just wasn't sure if you had heard of the concept. That's
No,
all.
I had. Like I said, so many strange beliefs come from it. So many strange beliefs. But I'm sure in time we'll be able to steer them back the way they should be. At least we're free.
If you say so. Anyway, we should probably head back. I do appreciate your time. You know how to contact me.
I always love when you come over. Though we have philosophical differences, I do enjoy your company. You always give me something to think about. And I enjoy something to make. It gives me something that, other than contemplating these people.
There's always something to contemplate.
Yeah. Well, you would think after so long trapped, I would have escaped and found so much to contemplate, but all I can do now is think on preparing for the war to come.
I think we're all preparing for something.
No, it was nice to meet you, August, and as always, Michelle. It is. Your company is dear sometimes. You break from the monotony of this place. I don't even know why I still run it.
Personal ties from the body. Yeah, if you ever change your mind about the music, you should come out sometime.
Maybe I'll do that next concert. Maybe that'll help me figure these things out. And if you hear of any reason why the Faustian would need so many soldiers, as I said, I would owe you to find out. It seems like a very odd thing, and now that is a question I don't mind looking into.
I have a feeling you might find out before I do.
Oh, we turned them down. Yes.
How many times?
3 times so far. The Princess of the Silver Blades has told them each time no.
Do you know why the answer is no?
Because we're not getting involved in whatever squabbles they're doing. Unless it has to do with the war, it is not our place. They can... Sorry if I put it sound brash, but the Faustians can fight amongst each other as they wish. We will stand ready for when the fight begins, as we always have.
That is totally your prerogative.
And to be fair, if I find out it's a good enough reason, I might be able to curry some favor with the Princess of the Silver Blades, and then well, that would improve me a little bit, wouldn't it?
Well, all I know is there's no improving me, so.
Well, I do appreciate you at least saying you'll let me know if you find out. And she actually sees you all to the door. Right as you're going out, you see, God, it looks like 3, you'd put them 17 or 18-year-olds. 2 girls and a guy are coming in, and they are obviously, based on their outfits, the various things hanging from, they're exactly the kind of person she likes to sell to. They will buy anything she points them at in this store. And I turn it over as you all are in the car going back if you wish to have any discussions with each other or with anyone else over the demon cell phone.
I'm just going to, the first one I'm able to, like, as we're going through the door at the same time, I'm just going to kind of put my hand on the first one, just like as I'm navigating through the door and connect, just kind of as an FU to this person, invoke manipulate senses to try and heighten the person's perception just so they're not as bullshitted by this person.
Okay. Let's roll that up.
Fuck your income.
That is some petty but amazing shit. I like it.
I am here for the petty. I am here for it.
Fucking beautiful.
I'm not confrontational directly. I can be confrontational indirectly.
I love it.
So, intelligence plus intuition, and each success will add a bonus die to their perception rolls, which they'll be using when they are trying to avoid being bullshitted.
Right.
Very creative. I'll go with that.
Three successes.
I am sure that Tammy is about to have a very unpleasant visitor.
10s don't explode. I don't have a special. He's 2 successes.
Still, that is 2 bonus dice. I'm sure she's going to be unpleasantly surprised at how not as gullible they would normally have been.
Wow, pretty wily for an 18-year-old.
Let me see
Got a
here.
keen business sense.
You are next to him there, Michelle. Please give me perception awareness real
Okay.
quick. The difficulty, you are right next to him, but that was a level 3 power. Difficulty is 7. Let's see how many you get.
1.
1? 1 is enough to know he did something.
Okay.
You felt creation warp slightly next to you as you're heading out of the place. And you are in the car ride leaving.
What did you do?
Nothing bad. Just help them see through the guys, see through the bullshit.
All right.
Nothing bad.
I know it's one of those weird situations where we got along a lot before the war too, from what I can recall. And after during like it's one of those things where it's like when you know someone for a long time, and during the war I was so busy. I was doing my own thing, and obviously they were very busy. And yeah, I don't know. It's being here on Earth has opened my eyes to a lot, but not gonna lie, the connection's nice to have.
Yeah, I'm not judging. I mean, I'm sure there's people who, again, before that I disagreed with, but still connected with. Don't have a lot of that here, besides you. Couple others who I've gotten to know, but fortunately, there's just a point where important ideological differences will get in the way.
And I think if it does come to that, I guess I was hoping that it wouldn't, but if it does, I know where I stand. And if it's on the opposite side of her, so fucking be it.
Agreed. I mean, I don't know her, but most likely I'm going to be on the opposite side of her. I mean, let's just.
I mean, after the entire time in the back of my head, I'm so glad like she didn't like try and check me or anything, because I was like in the back of my mind, like, I met Lucifer. I don't think he wants to do what you want to do anymore, but I wasn't gonna get into that today.
I didn't do anything extra special, but I did get a sense that she was genuinely curious and didn't have any sort of hidden agenda.
Oh no, it's more so I did not want to open that can of worms. And I wasn't going to sit here and be like, trust me, there ain't going to be a war, at least not from him. If there's going to be a war, it's from somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, trust me, bro. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like,
right.
So,
I know I have a different view of humanity compared to some of the people that we're very close with right now. I don't need to get into it with a stranger.
I'm just thankful that in our choir, the beliefs are not that opposing.
Yeah. That is good.
Yes.
And a lot isn't good right now, it seems. So let's take the good where we can get it.
All I can say is they are probably in for a rude awakening.
What do you make of her question, though? Faustians wanting to work with the Luciferians, getting not a legion, Italian. What was the specific request?
Yeah, they wanted them to essentially be their fists, I guess.
Right.
Storyteller, I don't think I don't think Michelle already knew that.
You've not heard anything about them requesting.
Okay, I would say that was new information.
Yeah. We should definitely let the others know. Yeah.
I think we wait till we see them face to face to tell them. I don't think that's something over.
They probably have their own stuff going on right now. Yep. We'll just maybe just say that we need we'll just let everybody know through the choir phone line that we would like to have a meeting when everyone's done.
Okay.
So as you're driving off, Thomas, it's at this time you went to the library. What were you researching at the library?
With this person jumping, or this demon jumping between bodies, trying to see in any of the like newspaper records or anything, obituaries, see if there's any kind of pattern to people dying, something that jumps out.
Go ahead and roll intelligence research, but give yourself 2 bonus dice, because a fiend trying to find patterns, well, that's what fiends do.
Would my specialty in deduction do anything?
Sure.
So that is, and you said 2 extra.
Mm-hmm.
That's 10.
Difficulty will be 6. I like using the default difficulty, except when I have a specific reason not to, so. The beauty of difficulty 6 actually makes me understand why Vampire V5 went with just 6 as the standard difficulty for things, because it's a nice starting point.
7.
7.
With exploding tents.
That is very nice. Very, very nice. As you're looking through it, you do stumble across, it's not an obituary, but it is a note, and it is a picture of a description that you were given, I'm sure, by the rest of your choir, of the individual who disappeared. His actual name was Keith Hammer. Listed as a missing persons. He was found drowned in the lake. Police were looking for leads, and that was why you found that picture in there. It was around the same time that there were 3 other men also found drowned in the lake.
Do they have names for the other?
The other 3 were listed with as John Doe's, and that was the point of the article. Is this was the first one they got an identity of, and the police were questioning whether it was a serial killer stalking and drowning people, because that many drownings in the winter, it's not a normal thing. I mean, the lake does tend to, she's not known for giving up their dead. Now, because of your successes, you've also stumbled across an odd article. It was a clipping, apparently an interview from a priest discussing a number of the homeless in his area. The ones that he thought were finally turning towards Christ had disappeared. And the interview was the priest complaining that the police force didn't seem to care because it wasn't, as they put it, wasn't a member of the tax-paying community. So, of course, the police didn't give a shit that they had disappeared.
Does it mention how many people the priest said how many homeless had disappeared?
The note in the article clipping, the priest mentions a half dozen. Now, this article clipping is from a month and a half ago.
And then, does it mention any sort of, or can I find any sort of pattern to, were they like going missing at regular intervals, or was it
doesn't
just,
say.
it doesn't say anything?
But you've got the church name, and I'll let you research and get a location of the church, and you've got an address.
And then do I have the priest's name? I'm assuming they did the
Yes.
interview.
Father Richards.
Okay. And then just generic church name.
Yeah, I don't need
Give the
to
address.
give. I mean,
That's fine. That's fine.
the Holy Mother of the Sacred Pain. There you go. I mean, they're always
Oh,
sounding
God.
like that. And that's canon now.
And it's not just the cryptic, but I've got questions now.
Yeah, obviously, Mama finds that one amusing.
Okay. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that would jump out as things that he'd be looking for. I mean, that's more information, honestly, than I expected to get. So,
That took quite a while to pull up. There's a lot of
Yeah.
looking through the back clippings and the back newspaper articles and microfiche in some cases.
oh yeah, no, it's having done some of that research type stuff myself in real life, that would take a while to just come across all of that.
As you're going to leave, a voice echoes in your head, Agorith.
Do I recognize the voice?
It's Airmail.
Okay.
You said some friends of yours needed a meeting.
Yes, we have some information on the task you gave us, but also some questions.
You can meet me tonight. And he gives you an address. It's a park.
Okay.
He even says it's a park.
Noted. Then we will meet you there at the assigned time.
Good. And then you feel the connection break.
So at that point, I'll go into like one of the side rooms. I know it's like the big libraries have like
Right.
little
Little
study
side
rooms.
study rooms and places with tables. Yep.
So it doesn't look like I'm a crazy person just talking to himself. And open up the choir phone call to everybody. We have a meeting tonight with the prophet.
Thanks. I've got some information from what I was looking into too. So maybe we could get together an hour beforehand.
Where is it?
And he'll give the information for the park and the time that he was given.
Now, Clark,
And
you are a reporter. You've gone all around Chicago. You recognize that address. The park is right on the shores of Lake Michigan.
I hope you all enjoy the smell of water.
that certainly makes some of the information I received interesting.
Same.
And I suppose we will all see each other tonight.
All right.
Then he'll break the connection.
And as you break the connection, I think this would be a good point to go to break. So after break, you all can have your meeting and then, or discuss prior to the meeting and then go to the meeting. It's a nice breaking point in the episode. So we're going to go to break, everybody. We will see everybody in 10 more minutes. Please enjoy the break, and we'll see you as soon as it's over. As soon as I can find where the mouse went. We're back, everybody. You almost got to hear the end of us discussing malefactors and control over Earth and Earth bodies. You'll have to try to catch that next time. Before the break, everyone was doing their own little parts of the various investigations they've got going on. And right before break, Haramel actually finally responded to arrange the meeting. Now, you all are supposed to gather right before this meeting. And if you're going to gather before the meeting, where are you gathering at?
I would assume not the park, just because.
No.
Yeah.
It can be Virginia's.
I would say, is it the normal hangout spot, which is Virginia's house? Because she got a nice place.
She got a nice place. It's a roomy house.
Do we still have to dance? Do we not have to worry about kids, or are they
No,
back now?
they're fine.
It's still,
Okay.
This is only a day after last episode, and they were away last episode, so they're still at their grandmother's.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the daughter to meet all of us. That's what I'm
No,
waiting
that's
for.
not happening.
No, that's never happening. We don't want that.
So we are going to open up with you all gathered in Virginia's house prior to heading out to this meeting.
So let me guess, Thomas, you found in your investigations that one of them was identified, right?
Yes. How did you know?
My morgue contact got in touch with me. About 4 months ago, a man by the name of Keith Hammer
That would be him.
was found and delivered to them. He had drowned, lungs full of water.
Did your contact mention anything about the 3 others?
No.
Apparently, there were a total of 4 of them found in that lake, drowned, but they never identified the other 3.
I got the location where this Keith Hammer is buried. So, Michelle, that we may have to go dig up a body.
I also got when I was looking through the information, I found an article where they were mentioning some recently spiritual homeless folks had been disappearing over the last month and a half. There was a Father Richards, and has Carsador mentioned the priest to all of us?
Oh yeah, I told you guys first big meeting we had,
Mhm.
because hey, we can be exercised. That's kind of important
Yeah.
to know.
Is that the priest?
No, it was Father Jebediah, I thought. I know it was a religious name.
Or did you say Jeremiah?
Jeremiah. That's right. Thank you.
Richards, I've never met a priest by that name.
He's from this interestingly named church, the Holy Mother of the Sacred Pain.
What's the address of that?
He'll give the address.
That's near that place that we have to look into people going missing from.
So about half a dozen in this article, which may be related to that then. There were half a dozen homeless people finding their way back to God that went missing, and Father Richard seemed very concerned that the police were not taking it seriously.
Oh, the police never care about the homeless going missing.
Those fucking bastards. Just so you're aware, there are 2 sub-factions within the Faustian faction. All of us here are part of the main core original purpose of the Faustian faction to elevate humans to basically inspire new divinity. The schism occurs where there is a group of Faustians who think we need to subjugate humans to meet our goals. And who better to subjugate than those who have just been reborn and full of faith?
We also have some information about that.
Okay.
Apparently they are, or they were, trying to recruit Luciferians.
Multiple times. To no avail.
Yeah, they weren't interested for, their own reasons.
Yeah, being soldiers and guard dogs for the Faustians is not high on their priority list.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
That's funny.
Did you say that you could have just been implying, but I want to make certain. Did you say that the Faustians that are subjugating reaped the faith out of them and then killed them to hide what happened?
I think it might be different people, because if it's a half dozen, that doesn't equate 3 bodies. I think the 3 bodies are separate. I think those 3 total of 4, including Keith Hammer. I think those 4 are going to be ones that Lucifer killed off so that they didn't fuck up his, playing Casanova.
Or they were all his vessel, and I'm certain
I don't
someone
think-
like him would burn through it faster.
He doesn't need a vessel. He was never fallen. He was never imprisoned.
Perhaps he wanted to follow the trend.
Perhaps, but I don't think he needs a vessel. He can probably change his form to whatever the fuck he wants to because he's never lost his powers.
And there is nothing to say that these random men didn't also just do something to incur his wrath at any given
True.
time.
We don't know who these men were. But I found out where Keith lived. It's an apartment building. If we want to investigate that at all, I can schedule an appointment to go look at available units.
I think you should take August and Kathleen with you as well for that.
But tracking down Lucifer's fucking whoring isn't a priority.
Agreed.
The priority is, of course, meeting with your faction leader, the Prophet. And dealing with Rosemary. Because Faustians are looking for her. They want her.
She needs to be hidden ASAP.
Yeah, because I'm not handing her over. I don't trust any of them. Sad. We're all in the same faction together, but I don't trust them.
Definitely not right now.
Mm-mm. Not if they're wanting to hire Luciferians to do their dirty work.
It doesn't hope that it doesn't feel like they're being upfront with us, that they're using us as pawns.
Yep. And that's already happened to me before, and guess what? It ain't happening again.
I'll follow your lead. I
Appreciate
agree.
it. Yeah, I'm not revealing shit.
Just let me know where I'm most useful.
Well, if ever anyone has to lie, you may have to lie for me. Because I, for the life of me, cannot.
Do you think that's more Virginia or you?
I think it's her. The bluntness is me, but yeah.
I used to have a harder time holding back emotion. Clark was so drained by the end. Most of this is him.
Well, most of this is me. Virginia was done.
August just gives a look to Michelle, just kind of acknowledging the conversation we had on the way to the shop.
Have you all heard what's happened in the East?
What?
Unfortunately, I do mean that as specific as it can get. East. It was dark, and then it was daytime for a moment, and then it was dark again.
She looks at Thomas and Clark. The bathroom door at the bar. I know you were in Chinatown when we were there, but Clark, you said that it was like just way east.
Coastal, if I'm remembering correctly.
Or past that.
As far as I could see in where the path led, for a moment the door led very far away and then didn't.
Thomas, would doing a portal that far of a distance create a glitch in time like that?
I don't know if you would call it a glitch, but that kind of travel, I mean, it's essentially, I mean, how long does it take to walk from one door to another, or, you know, from one side of a doorway to another? No time at all.
Right.
But I don't know that I would call it a glitch. It's more like just,
When I say east, from what was reported to me through my contact, is that it could have been the Middle East, it could have been Asia, it could have been anywhere eastern.
Okay.
to have,
It reaches far. There's too much distance because he said the news was vague.
Okay.
To travel that kind of distance would require great power and access to a vast amount of faith.
I got you. Okay. Okay.
I wish we could go back to slaughtering Earthbound.
Well, that's never off the table. Kathleen, you were gonna say something?
Oh, I was just thinking about reaching out to somebody and seeing if they could give us a better idea if this day to night or night to day, back to night phenomena actually occurred somewhere, but it's probably not that important since sounds like the consensus is that portals wouldn't do that. So
Any information is good information if you feel there's someone who could help.
sometimes some information is just
Misinformation.
it's not necessary, as it were. It leads you off a path that's completely, like I said, since it sounds like the portals are not related, I would say it's probably not as big of a concern. The Morning Star blowing up in Los Angeles was a much bigger deal than potentially the sun showing up for a split second in the middle of the night somewhere. So
I should also say my contact mentioned that he's had to make far more passports than he is used to making lately. As
People are
people
trying to
leave the country, yes.
To
That's
or
not
from.
going to help them.
No, but I can understand the panic, if nothing else.
Look,
So they're leaving the country to go somewhere or from something.
I think they're trying to flee, and his eyes will flick upwards as if there's a red star that we can see right now, being in a building. But
They're
Well,
I
trying
think
to outrun the end of existence.
that and or if you've resigned yourself to death, why not die somewhere beautiful? Throw away your dreary life. I mean, it's a common phenomena. So, I mean, common enough in those sorts of individuals. So it makes
Earth
sense.
used to be more beautiful. Humanity kind of ruined it.
Well, I've seen pictures. There's still places they could go that are beautiful. Like I said, it's the whole thing of like sipping your drink from a coconut on a beach somewhere and not have to worry about your problems. You just have to hope that if they're betting on the end of the world, they're betting that's going to happen before they have to go home again. So
I'd prefer to return to the stars, but I don't think Thomas would survive for long.
Wonderful thought, though.
Clark, you have photography equipment?
I have access to it. I don't have any.
Not on you, but I'm
no,
saying like at your
it's-
place?
Yes.
Okay.
It's stored in a case.
After our meeting, I need to talk with Rosemary. We might as well get her photo.
All right, I can set it up while you're discussing with her.
Okay. All right. Well, is there anything else?
Here's something I've been wondering about and hope one of you will have more answers for. We've been hearing quite a lot about Faustians, cryptics, even Luciferians. Has anyone heard anything from what Reconcilers or the Raveners might be doing?
I know a
Because
reconciler.
two of the most extreme factions don't seem to be making waves, and that's confusing.
It's very concerning.
I know a reconciler. I can ask. We get along pretty well.
Oh, good.
Please do.
I imagine that's something you want me to do after this.
Oh, of course. Of course. Yeah. Let's go ahead and head out.
You all pile in. You taking one vehicle? It's tight fit in one vehicle,
No,
but
we'll take two.
okay. Who all is driving? I'd just like to know this.
Virginia will drive.
Okay.
Clark doesn't have a license, so he can't.
I can drive.
Okay.
I would say, yeah, worst case, Thomas can drive his tiny ass car and like one other person.
August has a car.
Does anyone need to have a conversation in the ride over there? I mean, not like it matters. You all can talk between vehicles.
I'm sure Clark's called shotgun on Ariz's car like consistently.
At least this time he's not riding shotgun with a holy relic.
Yeah, where I was like gritting my teeth through the entire fucking trip.
Unless Carsador has something to say to Ariz.
No, it would be anything beyond silence or bitching, so nah, we're good.
So you all head out. And when you reach this park, it is definitely right on the shores of the lake. It seems to be rather empty this time of night. Though, oddly enough, as you're moving through it, you do catch glimpses of a rather active wildlife. Not sure if it's large dogs or wolves, but there are a number of them in this particular park.
Wait, are they up or downwind?
You find them all around you at various points.
Fuck.
They're not following you and don't seem to be paying much attention to you, but they're there. And for you to notice them being there, there must be a number of them.
Does it set me off?
No?
Wow, okay.
Do you feel, if you'd like to roll a perception awareness, you can feel free. If anyone wishes to roll perception awareness, you can feel free.
Oh, no, not for that. It's for one of my flaws.
Yep, no. They're not that close.
Okay.
They'd have to be an awful lot of dog for your allergy to kick in at that kind of distance.
Yeah,
in a park.
But
in an enclosed room, you're fine.
Okay. Despite despite his best efforts, everyone notices Clark like glancing around at all that wildlife.
I got 4 on perception awareness.
3 from.
Great.
Okay. Anyone else rolling it? We'll see what else we get. 4 and 3.
Fuck me and the perception botch.
Clark notices nothing.
He
2,
sees the bigger
okay.
picture.
5. Nice.
So big it's blurry and unfocused.
And what does Thomas get?
Thomas isn't rolling
Okay.
for it.
So for the Mars and Virginia, as you're getting close to this park, you feel something supernatural in the lake. You can feel it. It is dormant. It is sleeping, but it is there. It is not one of your kind. It is something else, but it is there and you can feel it. It is a very malignant, hostile, supernatural being in that lake.
What the hell is that?
What's what?
Does anybody else feel that?
Yeah, that makes me very uncomfy.
I wasn't
There is
paying attention. I
something.
didn't.
There's something in the lake, like a malignant supernatural creature that ain't us.
Curious considering the number of dead people to show up near this lake or in this lake.
How many
the-
boat sinkings happen in it? I mean,
How this is Maddox not knowing Chicago at all. How large is the lake?
It's Lake Michigan.
large.
Yeah,
it's
it's
Lake
Lake
Michigan.
So like
So big.
So it's not
Ca-
Lake Superior, but it's Lake Michigan.
But if you get to the end of this lake, there's another one and another one and another one.
God damn.
Well,
Can we see
depending
the
on the
other shore?
no.
Wow.
No,
okay.
you cannot.
It's a proper
ass
it's
lake.
a proper
Okay.
fucking lake. Yeah.
Not that you would necessarily want to, because depending on the direction, it's either Michigan or Indiana. So
Damn.
The shade.
That's valid.
Illinois shade. It's a rare thing, but you see it often nowadays.
So as you're feeling this and you're moving deeper in, you weren't told where in the park. So I assume you just wander the park a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And as
Nope.
you get closer,
I would do the sense congruence and try
Okay.
and figure out, because I know when I'm supposed to be somewhere. So I can use that to figure out where.
that's perfect. Go ahead and use it. Let me pull this up because I have it right here.
Perception and intuition.
Perception and intuition. Difficulty is 6.
Two.
2 shows you the location. That's
That's all
good
I
enough,
care
isn't
for
it?
right now. I know what time
You're
already.
to be by the shore of the lake.
And Thomas will start walking in the direction and just say, this way.
We follow.
As you get closer to the lake, you can actually see the outline in the night of it's a short, pudgy man. He's balding. You can actually see the moonlight reflecting off the bald spot. And as you get closer, he turns and he's got a heavy German accent. Good evening.
Would Carsador or myself recognize
Oh, yeah.
who this is?
You know who
Okay.
this is.
Okay, I'm just making sure that we're not.
And y'all should speak first. It's your faction.
This would be, he's in the board. This is Gerhard Liebner, is what he said his mortal host's name is.
Mr.
Greetings.
Liebner.
Greetings.
Greetings.
I figured you would all come. That is what I saw.
Well, we also told you we would all be coming, so
I knew that when I arranged the meeting. Very odd place here. Do you feel it?
Yes. What is it?
Don't know. It sleeps.
So it just sits in that lake then, or is it the lake?
Both. It sleeps. It will be woken.
till it doesn't.
It will be woken before the end. That's all I can tell. Don't know what it is. Not sure I want to find out. It's angry.
It's malignant.
I'm sure in its train of thought, it's not. Perspective. So, I specifically told the two of you not to tell anyone I was in town. And the first thing you did was tell them I was in town. As expected.
I find them to be trustworthy.
And
Yeah.
I'm sure you can respect the spread of information.
It is as it should be. Now, we could beat around the bush. I could be enigmatic and talk circles, or you could just tell me exactly why we're having this meeting, and we can do this above board.
I'll turn and look at Arazeth like you wanted to talk to him.
Why'd you have Rosemary sent to me?
That would make you the mother,
Yes.
because I first saw she needed protection from someone who would not be swayed by faction, who would not be swayed by torment, and would protect a mother and her unborn child. All the threads out there, that one was quite strong. So I had her sent to you. Was I wrong?
You weren't wrong.
Had I not sent her to you, what would have happened?
My faction would have found her.
They still might.
They won't.
It is a possibility.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
One I am trying to prevent.
Good. I want to know the father.
I do not know. I did not see that. I only saw her importance.
Convenient. I think I know who it is.
I am not omnipotent. I can't see everything. You understand that. Threads of fate are complicated.
I believe it's the Morning Star.
Now, why would he do that? Didn't he destroy that once before?
Well, considering he's done it after visiting me briefly.
You've seen him?
Yes.
I saw what he did in L.A.
Oh, this was before that.
I know the prophecy says he'll return. But it's very unclear as to what he'll do when he returns. 3 paths are before us.
Well, he knocked a girl up.
I will take your word for it. As I said, I was not able to see that. I just knew she's important.
And did just like Dad, left her hanging.
Dad.
It seems rather fitting for what he's done in the past.
He was the closest to him, after all.
He was
Sure,
so beautiful in that moment, though. And then the war. None of us were what we were. Not even me.
Pale shadows wearing suits of meat. But no sense in getting down about it, right?
There are advantages. to these suits of meat.
I was never meant to exist around humanity.
Nor I.
Would you go back to what you were in the prison? What you were when you first escaped the prison? These suits of meat have tempered some of us, have given us our chance.
And then some use their newfound humanity to rip people apart. So if
And I
nothing else, they're continuing the human trend.
Unlucky hosts. I've actually studied that. What makes one of our kind get a body and lose a bit of what monsters we were? Can't figure it out. There's something. Look, there's
And
6 of
destroy-
you all together. What is the odds that all 6 of you, with some friends that are not with you now, would all come to this world and not be a slave to your own torment, not be the monsters that your dukes demand of you, be the monster my duke demands of me? What's the odds? Did I have a hand in that? Of course not.
we all had a hand in it.
It's fate.
That's why we're here.
It's fate. Has to be.
You speak of fate. The humans, they like to have prophecy, religious dogma, things like this. I am not wise in these ways, but it seems like the Morning Star is doing very specific things, which I would argue, from an uneducated standpoint, could be ritualistic. So I was curious, since you see all, or sort of see all, can you enlighten us on that element any, or is this something that we're just supposed to keep stumbling around and while he does whatever he does and hope that we do the right thing?
I wish it were that easy to claim. I don't know his motivations. That was the first question we asked when we were put in our prison. Were we set up? Did he betray us? If the Maker is omnipotent, why did he allow the rebellion to occur? Why did he allow us to fall? If he is a perfect being and we are his perfect servants, why did he give us the capability to fall?
The fall was the plan. It always was.
It's experimentation. At the base of everything, no matter what, as long as you are at a quote unquote higher point than something else, you are going to test that thing. If the creator was the highest point, of course he's going to test the things right underneath him. It's just like humans and their pets, for example.
Do you know what
making sure that they keep their pets in line or whatever. Were we any different?
Do you know what the first thing I realized when I had this body? Either our Maker was not omnipotent, he was not all powerful, or he's a sadistic monster.
Why not both?
That's a valid point.
An absentee sadistic monster now.
Oh no, neglect is a form of abuse.
That's the oddest part. Where did he go?
Hmm.
Mankind was to be, if you believe what they wrote, created in his image, which they were right, but so wrong about it as well. They thought that meant the Maker had 2 arms, 2 legs. That's not what we meant. That's not. He's created the image of faith. Why did he abandon them? Why would he abandon them?
To force them to believe in something.
No, we were not. They were not to have the ability to believe. That was the fall. If the Maker did it, let's just say I'm not happy with the fact that it was manipulated and used. Do you know what it's like to bear the guilt of the failed war on your predictions? To be blamed in the abyss for everything that went wrong?
That's because people put too much stock in faith and prediction. It's advice, same as any other.
The signs were clear. But did we create the signs? That's the guilt I bear. But I know you have more questions than that. Have you found the fortress yet?
Yes and no.
It won't
We
reveal
have the
itself, will
method.
it? You see, that's my problem. I know how to find it. I've known the whole time. I do not have the need. I do not need the protection. It won't open for me, even though I fucking created it.
I can understand feeling betrayed by a creation. And yet, here we are.
So yes, I set you on a path to find it.
To find something you already knew.
I could have told you, but that wouldn't have done the same thing. It is not me telling you that pushes you to the knowledge you need. Because even though I can see predictions, I don't have all the knowledge. It's the steps you're taking that gives you what you need.
Trust me, I understand probably more than anyone the drive. It's not necessarily the answer, it's the search for it. I get it.
And I know Rosemary is linked to opening that fortress. I don't know how, but I know threads are clear. If she is not with you, she has no chance, and the fortress will not open. Both are very important. Both must happen to avoid one of the three paths ahead.
Have you seen anything regarding the baby?
The baby is the important part.
I would
But nothing
argue
about
there
its future?
It is the key to humanity either surviving or being destroyed. Which of the two? I do not know. But without the baby, I know what road humanity will take. They will be burned in the fire that consumes everything. The baby is a chance. And a chance, if that's all we have, that's what we'll take. I am not perfect. I can't see everything. I get glimpses. I get pieces. But if you knew there was a chance for humanity to survive, and it was reliant on her being protected, what step would you take to do it? I bet you each have your own answer to that, don't you?
All of them.
Whatever it takes.
Exactly. You can judge me. You can hate me.
I don't.
I'm hated by enough. I bear that.
Please, I know what hate is. Being avoided like the plague because you're the mother. When I was also used.
In time, you'll find out how much.
Oh, I'm sure.
There's only one of us that deserves our collective hate, and it's not you.
I don't even know if I can hate him. It's easy to say it now, but were he standing before me?
I could.
I remember him in all his glory. Mother, of course you would. You have a reason. He gave you reason to hate. Me? Could I resist his voice? Couldn't resist it before. Think I could resist it now? How many of our kind could resist his commands when he reappears?
I fell because he was an inspiration. Now I don't feel that way.
It's easy to say it when he's not here.
I suppose the only true way for us to test it will be if we ever encounter him face to face.
If you believe my prophecies, you will, before the end. It's the only thing that seems to have kept the Luciferians going now, isn't it? An army without a leader. And what they don't understand, an army without a war. Yet. But a war is coming. That I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen. The day will come when the dukes will be freed, or the grand dukes will be freed. The fell knights will be freed. Do you think they're going to have the odds of getting a body like you did? One that tempers them?
I have a theory that they would destroy any body they tried to inhabit. I feel they are too much.
Right now? Sure. But have you noticed Lucifer's appearance, what that did? Have you noticed how many have turned back to religion suddenly? A few more revelations of that kind, and you'll find humanity's faith has been rekindled. With enough faith, do you think the body could survive someone of that magnitude in it?
There's always a
Perhaps.
chance.
Before the end, they will be free. A war is coming. I'm doing what I can to save what we can. Can't save them all. But much like you said, I will do what I have to. If it means I have to use you, I will use you. If it means I have to use others, I will use them. It is the only chance we have. It's the only way we'll get answers.
You know, you could have talked to me before sending her.
I did not feel that would be the best course of action.
Hindsight's a bitch, ain't it?
Mother, you do have a reputation, and
Of course. Of course I do.
I am not sure how, till you saw firsthand, until you saw your own faction hunting her down, how you would take me and my meddling.
Do you know why my faction wants her?
Yes.
Enlighten me.
To control the baby.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
If that child is what I believe it is, what you believe it is,
Mm-hmm.
the faction that controls it
Will be the most powerful.
will dictate the future. The secret is to have no faction control it. I know you're going to hate what I have to say. There's only one person who should control and teach the child. The only one of us left that knows their power, that has the full extent of their power. The only one who could teach the
Don't you
child.
dare say it.
You know I have to say it. You know it's the truth. We have lost too much. If that child is going to be what we were, it has to learn from someone who remembers what we were fully. Not yet. I do not foresee that that child should be him, with him, until the child has matured enough. I'm not suggesting allowing him to shape the child as a young innocent. No. That child is what I think it is. It should meet him as an equal. As it is.
I see what
That
you
child-
did there.
I'm sorry, that child should get to live its life. It doesn't need us. It needs our protection, but it doesn't need us pulling any strings.
Live its life. The end of the world is years away. It won't have a full life. You will find the child will age faster than you would believe, but it will not have time. We do not have decades left. We have a handful of years. And when the tree burns, we will have months. There's not time for that. That is part of why the fortress is necessary.
Then tell me what you know about the lake and the mist.
That fortress exists in a twisting of time. Time passes differently. In there, the child will have more time to grow than we have here.
Where is it here?
In the city, it won't reveal itself. It is hiding from me. I do not have need. I am not hunted. And I don't have a spark of humanity for them to trigger. That was the key. It was to protect mortals. Our kind didn't need protection of that. We were our gods. Any fight we didn't want to face, we fled. Heavenly host couldn't stop us. We couldn't stop them when they choose to withdraw. That place was meant to shelter mortals. And that child is half mortal. It will open for her.
All right.
I don't know when. That is why she was sent to you. I knew you would protect her. And when the time comes, you will make the decision to protect her further. And the way will open. And once it opens, I will be able to get my books. She will be protected and given time that we don't have. The world does not have. You heard about sunlight at midnight? Do you know what that was? That was the child of Cain being destroyed.
Oh, good.
It is just one of the many signs. They are destroying themselves now, as we speak, fighting amongst themselves. I trust you to protect them. I also trust you not to tell me what you're going to do it. I'll know when it opens. If I don't know, it can't be taken from me. Because let's be fair, there are some who could pull it out of me. The right one of the first house could get it.
Have you met many of those in Chicago?
There's enough. Who says they have to be from Chicago?
I more just meant ones that would be in immediate vicinity to watch out for.
There's the problem when you're reading Threads of Fate. It doesn't always show you when you are being hunted by those who have a strong pull. It's not perfect. And my skills have always been the big picture, not the short term. If I was better at the short term, maybe the war wouldn't have happened. But then again, I think it had to happen.
I think we all know at this point it was going to happen regardless.
And yes, I want to see Lucifer once again. I want fucking answers. Where was he? When we needed him, where was he? We wouldn't even need this conversation had he been with us to lead us through the abyss. Where was he? But he hasn't answered me yet. I am but one of the lowest members of my house. Did this meeting meet your expectations?
I came with none.
Same.
Let the information speak for itself.
I'm sorry, Mother, if you feel I was being manipulative.
Let's just say my track record with surprises makes me suspicious.
Can I give you a bit of advice, Mother?
Certainly.
When you next meet the Morning Star, ask him what Belial did to you. That's all.
Hmm.
And yes, I'm not afraid to say that name. He hasn't been in hell a very long time. If he is on this planet, his name has changed long since then. We change. The bodies change us over time. I'm sure you've already noticed. I'm sure each of us, our true name is not what it once was. Have you noticed your dukes are unable to contact you?
Yes.
You know why. Your true name is not what it was. You have a mortal shell.
Mm-hmm.
You do know that is an advantage.
Oh, of course it is.
For those who are consumed by torment, their true name has not changed. They are still slaves to the names known to their dukes. But for ones like you and me and a few others, the human side has changed us in a way that protects us from those who knew us. Celestial is what it is, but your true names are insulated.
Well, thank you, Prophet,
Hmm.
for indulging us this
You
evening.
can call me Aramel. I hate Prophet. Prophet involves that I got some things right, and I'm not sure I have yet.
And you can call me Arazeth.
Arazeth.
I prefer that over Mother.
I will call you Arazeth from now on. If there's nothing else, I must leave the town for a little while. I've been noticed.
Safe travels.
I will be back when you open the fortress. I will know. And I will return to the city. And if you wish, I will teach her what I can. But know that it's only to give her a chance to meet the Morning Star as an equal,
I will also teach her what I can.
so that she may meet him as she should.
As she should.
Correct. Anything else and we lose. I know that road. That is the first road. The one we do not want. It is the end of all things. Not even a remnant of a remnant will survive. Creation itself would be unmade. And I know none of you are raveners. That is not what you wish. No. Thank you
Thank you.
for speaking with me.
Thank you for the audience.
Please. Look, I don't even want to lead the cryptics. Thank you. Too much like fucking hero worship, and I'm no hero.
The best leaders are often the ones who do not wish to be.
Had I been ignored, the fall wouldn't have happened. Trust me, the last thing I want is to be the leader. But I don't have a choice now, do I?
No. Same as we don't have a choice to do what we are doing now.
Same as we didn't have a choice then.
We've always had a choice in some things. Sometimes I don't think the other options were good, though, were they? And he turns and kind of hunches up in his jacket and walks away. And I'll let you all gather back in the vehicle to have a talk. I know you're not going to talk in the middle of this park with that spirit sleeping nearby. And when you all gather in the vehicle, I will turn this over to the players for one last scene for the night.
Are we actually going to facilitate handing that child over?
She won't be a child when she's introduced to her father.
And I believe it's more that we're hoping she will confront him.
It should be her choice.
I will do with her what I was unable to do with my own children. Nurture, educate, and love. What she does with that is in her hands.
That's the crux of humanity.
So, do we just drive around with them in the car and hope something happens?
I imagine when I tell her her child is the morning stars and the Faustians are hunting her, she'll have a big need to hide.
I wouldn't be surprised if this fortress was engineered to reveal itself to her regardless of where she is.
But the baby might need to be born before it is revealed. Luckily, she is due very soon.
She did look ready to pop.
Well, Clark, you ready to go and get her photo?
Certainly.
Want me to go meet with my reconciler right now?
Sure.
Please.
See if we can find out what they're doing.
And if they happen to know what the Raveners are planning, that would be ever so useful.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
I could reach out to my friend if the Luciferians are being approached as foot soldiers and cannon fodder. Maybe one of them has approached him. He's in the financial sector, so maybe
You could
his
try.
body could be useful to them.
Perhaps we should all check in with who else we know. See how their reactions to things are. If they have additional info.
What faction is the Emerald?
The Emerald, let me pull them up because I got them right here. As soon as I can find the right spot on the sheet. Oh, that was the wrong sheet. This sheet right here. Okay. The emerald is Faustian.
Okay.
I was about to say, if you say reconciler, I'm going to tell you to get the fuck
No,
out.
he is a Faustian. The only ones who know reconcilers are Kathleen and August.
All right. Well, Clark, let's get going.
As the choir breaks for the night, having met with Aramel and find out there's a lot at stake, but you all were picked for a specific reason. One that he feels that obviously you are well equipped to handle. This is where we're going to end season 2, episode 5 of Demon: The Road to Hell. For those that are wondering, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and this group has said they will do whatever it takes to defend that child. We'll see what they have to do in the end to defend it. I'd like to thank my players, you the viewers. So let's go first. Everyone gets 1 XP for being here, 1 for roleplay, and 1, of course, for learning something, because you can't say you didn't learn anything. Who wants to go first tonight with the player vote? Otherwise, I'll decide for you, but I'll let y'all decide.
I'll go first.
Okay, go first.
So I'm gonna vote for Julirial in August for the patchouli shop scene.
Okay.
Shit reeks, y'all.
Honestly, if I'm being real, everybody, it should be the vote from me. I know I didn't do a whole lot of anything, but I'm trying to not just do like an everyone every week. So that's why I was trying to be specific.
Oh, you're free to say everyone. If you think everyone deserves it,
I'm going to say everyone then. There you go. Hopefully you all get your XP. So
I totally understand. Some weeks you may not want to vote for everyone, but some weeks you're like, everyone did something big for the story. So everyone, that is Kathleen. So let's go counterclockwise. August, you're next.
I'm going to give mine to Arazeth. There was one very specific moment about when she told her name to the guy, and kind of just there's a specific spot where talking about what she was going to do with the baby that got to me.
Thank you.
Okay. So 1 for everyone, 1 for Arazeth. Arazeth, your turn.
I'm giving it to everybody. It was a fantastic session.
Okay. That's 2 for everyone, 1 for Arazeth. Now, Clark, your turn.
Everyone specifically excluding me.
Why excluding you?
Because I didn't do too much this session.
Oh, please. You're Arazeth's partner in crime. We're good.
I know, but just...
Some episodes you will do more. Some episodes you will do less. That does not decrease your contribution being here.
I'm not saying it didn't. It's just I don't feel comfortable voting for myself for that specifically.
That's perfectly fine. Thomas, your turn.
Oh, I'll die on this hill. Everyone.
You know, considering how many times I say I'm planning to kill your characters, you might die on this hill.
God damn. Everyone loves a murder, I guess.
Yeah,
Jesus.
You're still demons inside, and a little murder goes a long way. So, Michelle, your vote?
I mean, I'm gonna look like an asshole if I don't say. No, I'm joking. I do want everyone.
Fine, everyone. Everyone gets to know.
I appreciate the special shout out.
I can't wait for the day that one of us says me.
I mean, you could do that.
Hell, I even hit myself with how I portrayed that scene.
So I will give, everyone gets 4 experience. Arazeth, you had a special call out. I will give you the 5th.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. So I can be a generous storyteller.
I might be able to buy something.
I can be a generous storyteller, especially in this game, because some episodes are heavier than others, but there's a lot of heaviness in this one at times. Not as bad as Wraith, but it's a different kind of heavy now, isn't it?
Well, ours is an overarching destruction of existence.
Right,
Wraith is
that's
destruction
kind
of the set.
impending dread.
Of the
And knowing
psyche,
you're
yeah.
the linchpin and whether it happens or not.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wraith is just destruction of the self, which is bad, but not as overarching.
So I hope everyone has enjoyed this episode. We're halfway through the season. And we got a little bit more peeks into how each of the factions are running. The Faustians are having their own little internal war. The Luciferians are ignoring the rest, which isn't always the best of ideas now, is it? The Cryptics, each one is pursuing their own goals. It's fractured. You need a leader to show up suddenly, don't you? But how many will actually follow Lucifer when he shows up? That's a good question. That's going to be a tough one for some. There's a
And
lot
does
of-
he deserve a second chance? The
Does he
answer's no,
deserve a
but-
second chance?
Follow him as I put a boot up his ass.
I think, Lucy, you have some splaining to do.
You have some splaining to do.
And he better not come off as arrogant as he always used to act, because it's not going to end well when he does.
Mm-mm.
I don't
So-
care that you just ate a shitload of chocolate off a conveyor belt. You need some fucking time to talk to us.
So please, everyone, join us on the Discord. So you know, the cast of this show, it came from our Discord. We cast all our shows from the Discord. And we also do weekly Zoom hangouts, and we have a good community. So please pop over to Discord. We really try to keep out an eye on each other, and we try to be good with each other. So please check our Discord. If you want to catch back episodes, not just of Demon, but our back episodes we have of other streams, Werewolf, Mage. Matter of fact, I saw a raid earlier from our Mage ST Ravnos Archon. So if you want to catch some of those back
Thank you to all
episodes,
the raiders.
we had two
Thank
different
you
raids
so
tonight. Thank you
much.
all.
Yeah, we
I
had a
don't
lot of
break-
raids.
I don't break immersion, but thank you now that it's the end of the session.
Right. I don't stop to say thank you to a raider because that breaks the table feel. We're in scenes and I try not to do it. But at the end, thank you to the raiders. We do thank that. We thank all the viewers and everyone who came out for this. If you want to see our friends, check out our friends list right over there. Those are other Twitch content creators. And I also have on good authority that Bazazel the Defiler has his own little thing that's not on Twitch. So I'll let him give a shout out there as well and tell people what he's doing.
Oh yeah, I every other week I host the Fancast at 4 podcast, the #1 fan casting podcast on the internet, presumably. I will share the link in the chat. This next episode that's coming out Friday is what if Matt Reeves directed a Fantastic Four film?
At some point, are you going to run out of directors to suggest could have run a Fantastic Four
There's so
film?
Oh no,
many.
I have a list
There's
of
a
like
lot.
100 directors.
Is George Lucas on that list yet?
He's on the list, but it probably won't happen for a while.
Okay, I'm just. I had to ask. What's it? Guy Ritchie, is that on your list?
Let
He
me
is on
know
the-
when you get to Cecil B. DeMille.
Will do.
Because I want to know what you say about if Guy Ritchie did it. Because look, I'm a big fan of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah,
And so, you know, yeah.
definitely a distinct style.
Yes.
Harryhausen.
Wow, that's old school there. I love it.
All right, we got to stop suggesting or we'll be here for another
That's
hour.
right. And Trimdeziel the Defiler, tell everyone what you're doing on your channel. It's the Ivy Raven for those who want to follow her.
I stream video games when I stream, so
And look, Ravenous Archon rated us. Pop over to his channel. Right there in the chat, you got his link to his channel. He does Vampire. He does Wild West Werewolf. He has Legend of the Five Rings. He does D&D sometimes, when you don't see him on our channel, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So please pop over that. If you want to get you some merch, we've got some studio merch. We still don't have any demon merch, though. Yeah, I think I could come up with some interesting ones after this. Lucy, you are the father. That's with a nice, Maury sketch with it.
I died in the apocalypse and all I got was this stupid t-shirt.
I mean, there's some good ones we could do for that.
Daddy issues.
Daddy issue.
Daddy issues.
With
Goddamn.
wings and a broken halo.
Yeah,
and a nice bit of filigree around
post that
it.
on Discord in the merch request channel. So
That's
that
one
I
we
might-
might actually be able to do because that's
I
not that
might
hard
be
to do.
able to do that. So-
Broken halo, angel wings, daddy issues, filigree around the edge. We could t-shirt that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. We could do that. That's some good shit.
I would wear the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Viper call me.
So seriously.
From Synthrazio first season. Call me.
And she out the window as dude's jumping. That was awesome. Yeah.
A telephone with red horns and a small spaded tail.
With the story of this season, now you see why Synthrazio wasn't in this season.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fit yet for this one because her reaction compared to the rest of the group's reaction would have been totally different. Would have thrown the choir off a bit. So we'll probably see Synthrazio back, though, in a later season, won't we? So be ready for all that. And, of course, bits and donations, everybody, they go to the players, not to the studio. If you want to give something to the studio, you can give it here on Twitch. I will tell you, Twitch takes half the money. You can pop over to our KoFi, though, and you can go to our KoFi, and that way you don't give half of it to Twitch. But if you want to give something to the players, bits and donations, they go to them for all the hard work that they put into doing this because, yes, we're playing a game and we're having fun, but there's a time commitment and an effort commitment and role play commitment and in a shanky game, an emotional commitment.
Flash those biddies for the players and then buy Mama a drink.
Yep. But of course, as always, so you're aware, we do not content lock anything behind a paywall. So if you can afford to give, go ahead. If you can't, please don't put yourself in a bad situation to do it because, hey, the economy's rough and we understand that. And we don't believe in forcing people to pay money to see good role play. That's just a part of what the studio was founded on. So do what you ethically and conscious and your wallet will allow you to do. And please don't do any more. Please don't. And now I can turn it over to my lovely wife so she can give you the schedule for this week.
All right. Thank you, everyone, again for joining us for this midpoint of the season session. Coming up over the next week on Saturday, London Esoteric Society is back at 3 p.m. Eastern. They are jumping ahead into the next century, I believe. So a little bit of a time skip. The players are going to be playing different characters because some of their characters, they needed to kind of at least temporarily retire because of sanity loss.
Some of them insist on reading the book and keeping arcane artifacts like you shouldn't didn't call it. Well, you should if you want good story.
Yeah,
just make sure that you sleep with them at night. It really works.
Osmosis. Yeah.
When you grow a tentacle out of your forehead,
that way.
When you get a tentacle out of your forehead, it's fine. Perfectly fine.
It's a totally natural thing. All kids have it.
So join Tiss and her group of miscreants as they traverse Victorian, actually Edwardian, London, and check out them on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And on Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern, we will have Windy City After Dark, the next installment of season 9. Yo.
That'll be episode 5.
Yeah, that'll be the midpoint of that season. It sucks that these games about end at the same time because then I go long periods without having anything
You
to play.
won't this time.
But yeah, last session in Vampire, there was a big showdown between the coterie. That includes myself, Ivy Raven there, and Brad Agorth. That we went after Duncan McTavish in Chicago. Brought along some friends. Jackie's tied to the Wolf Pack, the group of Archons. And yeah, one of them got ashed. One of the Archons got ashed in the process.
It's Timber Brad's fault.
I don't know. McTavish planted the fucking landmines. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. He's got the point there.
Totally not because you brought a wraith to a vampire fight.
Wraiths are just a little bit OP. And not really easily contained, okay?
I would argue it was Red's fault for getting hit. I'm just saying.
See, and at that
Red's
point,
fault
it
for
gets back,
stepping on a landmine. Gotcha. Blame
at that
victim
point,
blaming.
it gets back to the Now you're just getting back to the whole thing about he said, she said.
I know.
Doesn't work.
But anyway, so wait for the follow-up of that. That's coming Sunday. And I know we're going to be opening with a scene between Jackie and Dredd the next night. So
And get ready for your heart to get ripped out.
yeah, gonna be intense. So
I'll try not to cry.
Mm.
I'll try.
You'll try not to cry. Okay. I'll try not to mock you for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I promise nothing.
And I promise to kill Timberland.
And that is what we have. And of course, we'll be back here on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern with episode 6 of season 2 of Demon the Fallen.
It's an interesting season on this one. But on the plus side, there's been no combat in Demon yet this season. And you haven't had to deal with an Earthbound at all.
I
No
almost
Earthbound.
prefer Earthbounds to
Yeah,
this
I miss
politics, this factional politics.
Oh, y'all have the option to not be involved in the politics, don't you?
Yeah, about to take that out.
I think you've already decided to not be involved in the politics because you're like, I'm not turning her over. No, young sucker.
Fuck that shit. They can kiss my lily white
Look,
ass.
The representative of my faction said, don't turn her in. I'm like, all right.
See, here's the beauty of demonic factions. You're all individuals. You can be part of the faction and still tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yep. I still believe the same thing they believe. I'm just not going to do it their way.
That's right. I know some of y'all still show a lot more humanity. August not even going to let some people get ripped off.
See Arazeth with a sledgehammer again.
I'm just saying, so
we
far,
were talking about that before we went live.
There is a possibility of combat because they have 2 main threads they're following: Rosemary and the people disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
One of those
so
may result in
far-
combat.
So far, the scariest thing Thomas has run into is the mother.
Yeah. No, here, fun little side insight. Character, deathly afraid of that woman. There's a reason he gets along, because he's like, better to be friends than enemies. That was something that did what she did when she did it.
Lovely show. I love these players and I love these characters. So, and everybody, please, as we end every stream, I want to let you know that mental health, everybody, it's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. It's a very serious subject. We take it very seriously here at McStabber Studio. And if you suffer from mental health issues like many of us do, please reach out to those around you. And if you don't suffer from mental health issues, damn, I'm impressed. But reach out to your friends around you, check in on them as maybe the 2 of y'all together can share your mental health issues and help each other work it out. Because lifelines go both ways. Sometimes you're helping somebody else off the cliff, and sometimes you thought you were going to help them off the cliff, and they back you away from the edge, and you didn't even know it was going to happen. So reach out to those around you, everybody. Make sure both yourself and them are okay. And if you don't feel you have people you can talk to, in chat is a list of numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There'll be people, trained professionals on the other end of the line to help you with whatever problems you're going through. And if you're not in the U.S., I do know we have a number of non-U.S. visitors to this channel. There's a website link right there that has the helpline in 142 health lines in countries all around the world. So you can go to one of those helplines and you can get the help you need, because mental health is health. There's nothing wrong with saying you need help. And please, for the sake of yourself and others, get the help you need. So I find it's a very important subject. So now I can turn it over to my wife for her portion as we exit the episode.
Unless you're new here, you know, I'm a registered nurse. So is Timber Brad there. And we are pro-science and humanitarian. So please get your goddamn shots.
Oh, yes. There's a new fucking variant.
Yep.
Get your goddamn shots.
Yep. And it's killing people. So get your goddamn shots.
Yeah, one of the anti-vaxxers died just a few days ago.
Yep.
Diamond from Diamond and Silk, one of the big anti-vaxxer people.
Yep.
COVID got him. So
Yep.
COVID is a disease you do not want to fuck around with and find out.
And long COVID is fucking miserable.
Damages your heart. It damages your brain, your circulatory system. It fucks
It
you all up.
damages just about everything. And you are miserable for the rest of your existence.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, get your goddamn shots. Knock on wood. Haven't gotten it yet.
That's because
Sorry,
our
I
house are
can't.
hermits.
Sorry, I retract my knock. I can't say that.
Haven't gotten it yet. Yeah. So seriously, get that. And also, yes, take your mental well-being seriously, because as the mind goes, the body goes, and vice versa. As the body goes, the mind goes. You are a whole person with multiple facets. You got to take care of them all. So please take care of yourselves. Do some self-care. Self-care is not selfish. Spend however
Self-care
much
is
time
essential.
you can. Yep, it's essential to spend whatever time you can on the regular doing something for you that you enjoy, so that way you can lift yourself up and recharge yourself. And finally, I'm going to make this real brief. Fuck all the fascists. Fuck them all. Fuck all of them.
Including Putin,
the Iranian government, the GOP. Yeah, all of them. All of them. Yeah, and focus on being kind. Being nice is performative, so be kind.
Yep.
Said with love.
And as the storyteller of this amazing table, I seem to have a lot of amazing tables I get to play with around here. I do thank you all coming.
We have a fantastic community.
And I love all the viewers. Thank you all for being here for this wild ride. And thank you, everyone. We will see you next week or next show even. Good night, everybody.